Hello, my name is Aaron Mundy. I am doing my survey music presentation, and today we will be looking at the djembe and its impact in Western Africa and the rest of the world. The djembe is, well, let me show you. I have my djembe with me. This is not a traditional djembe. This is a fiberglass djembe. It is in the shape of a goblet, as you can see. It has a synthetic drum head on it, and then it also has several lugs or tension rods along it as well. The djembe is technically a membranophone. This is a musical instrument which produces sound primarily by way of vibrating a stretched membrane, or drumhead in this case. In a traditional djembe, they are actually made out of they're made out of a wood. Now, if you want to get a genuine djembe, a truly genuine djembe, you would probably get one out of West Africa, off the Ivory Coast, or out of the Ivory Coast, or Guinea, or Mali. Those are actually cut from a tree there. Then they're actually carved out in the middle, formed into the goblet shape as we've seen previously, and then they actually have an actual animal skin, typically a goat skin, stretched across, and then it would be tuned by ropes. Djembes primarily produce three tones. There's the bass, there's the treble, and then there's also called a slap. To demonstrate, your bass will usually produce a loud little thud. Your tone will give you, or the treble, sorry, will give you a little higher pitched. Then your slap is just a really high ringing sound that will different emphasis on the notes. These are really the backbone of hand drum music, which really includes the genre really includes African, Afro-Cuban, and other freestyle rhythms. Drums are really one of the oldest and most commonly found musical instruments. Basic design remains virtually unchanged for thousands of years. I mean, like every kid, right? They start out with, even in the modern kitchen, a couple wooden spoons and mom and dad's pots and pans, right? That's usually everybody's first drum set. Some hand drums, though, are considered untuned instruments. Those are drums that are fixed with one tone, although those aren't very as prevalent as, say, the tunable drums, which are tunable via tension rods or ropes. The djembe, for example, is a tunable drum. It is a drum that you can obviously tune via the tension rods or through the ropes. Moving on to its origins, or history, if you will. The djembe originated out of West Africa. It's kind of up in the air as far as pinpointing the exact birth of the drum, if you will. But most likely it's about 400 to 800 years old. It was created during the Malian Empire by the, I'm going to completely butcher some names here, but bear with me, by the Mande people. It's been nicknamed the talking drum. The name djembe actually came from the Bamana people in Mali. When they said Anke Je, Anke Be, it's translated to everyone gathered together. basically the djembe would not only basically call people from the village to gather around, but it would also essentially grab everybody's attention to let them know that somebody important is going to be talking, or to let them know that an important ritual is about to happen. Traditionally, only those born into the djembe families were allowed to play the drum. Castanhas have last names that have survived today. If your family name is one of those born into the djembe, it is not only your instrument, but it's more than likely it's your job to play the djembe. And actually, I'll dive into a little bit. Not going into extensive depths on it, but there was actually it was not common at all for women to play the djembe. It was actually, if a woman was playing djembe, it was almost as if they were acting out and rebelling. Now, it's gone away with that. Women's rights have come a long way since then. Like I said, we'll touch on that briefly later on. The djembe wasn't really very well known until after the late 1950s. Not until the West African ballets. They toured heavily throughout Europe and Asia and Russia to showcase. Really, they actually used it as like a way to market tourism, if you will, to Africa and have people to increase the country's income. This is then because of all those ballets. That is how the djembe became about and really started to get into popularity now. So now we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk a little bit about the some famous musicians, djembe masters, and what it takes to be a djembe master. Some famous musicians are one. There's several of them, but some of the ones that are really the creme de la creme, the Bachs and Beethovens and Mussolini, or not Mussolini, the Stravinsky's of Europe. These are the guys of West Africa and the djembe. Bulakara Kande from Guinea. Sungalo Coulibaly from Mali. Abdoulaye Diakite from Senegal. Yamadou Bani Dunbia from Mali. Let's see. Mamede Keita from Guinea. Famodo Konate from Guinea, and also Drissa Kone from Mali. Now, like I said, those are not the right pronunciations. I guarantee it. If they are, I'm buying a lottery ticket. But those are famous djembe players. And actually, to be called a famous djembe player, you'd be called you wouldn't be just a musician. You'd actually be called a djembe fola, which is just like being a master of your skill. Now, to get that name, djembe fola, or that title, it takes several years to attain the mastery level. Just like anything else in life, with your doctorate, you have to go through so many years of schooling to attain your doctorate. Same concept with obtaining your mastery level or your djembe fola of the djembe. Like I said before, traditionally only men played the djembe. However, the barriers against women playing the djembe have come down in the recent decades, and it's just recent. It's kind of like it was really shunned upon if you consider it kind of like a pre-World War II era, where for a woman to work in America, was a big shock. Same concept for djembe playing. In West Africa, for a woman to play the djembe was almost unheard of, and if it did happen, it was almost as if they were acting out against the men of the tribe. And so you don't really hear about too many female djembe folas. But moving on, So now there are some traditional sounds versus contemporary sounds. How did the djembe, how does the playing styles differ from then versus today? Well, you know, traditionally, like I said before, the djembe was used to call the tribe together. The djembe would start out the song first, then everyone else would follow. Strings, the dunan or bass drums, bells, vocals. You know, and like I said before, the djembe was also used mostly as a, like I said, as a gathering sound. But it was used in times to celebrate life, times to mourn life. The djembe in West Africa is actually very spiritual. It would contain, they believe that it contained 3 spirits within the djembe. It would contain the spirit of the craftsman or the woodworker that not only cut the djembe down, the tree down to make the djembe, but also who made it. Typically, that's who would make the djembe, is the person that would cut down the tree. It would also contain the spirit of the tree itself. Can't really explain that very well because I don't get how trees have spirits. But then it would also contain the spirit of the player. If you were considered not very well skilled if you could not make the djembe talk. In the way that, you know, just like how some blues players have been said that they can make the guitar cry or you know, make the guitar sound like it's saying words. Same concept with the djembe. How you can make it talk and make it sound like you're yelling with it or you're talking low with it. Same kind of thing with that. But the djembes would be passed down like family heirlooms throughout the family, and that's how they're able to date them back to about 400 to 800 years old. That's a big, broad range, but that's how they're able to do that. But today's sounds, usually we start out with an intro of some sort. Typically, it's going to be with a guitar or piano or some stringed instrument. Today, the djembe is used more of an accompaniment in with music. Versus back then, like I mentioned before, djembe is the leader in the traditional music or the traditional cultural music. I do have some short videos here for us to watch for samples of what djembe sounds like because, yes, I have one. I've played it before. Let's face it, I'm not nearly as good as what these guys are. You know, so the video that we started this presentation out with is a sample of some traditional mixed with contemporary. The following video is going to be fully contemporary. Now I want to advise you that there's drug references in the song. If that offends you, then I would ask that you at least pay attention to the first 20 seconds of the song, the intro part of the song. The djembe player on there is phenomenal and he's great. You know, if the drug references don't offend you and you don't get upset, then by all means, I encourage you to listen to it. Like I said, the music is choice, but the sound is good. Then after that video, there's another song that actually features 2 of the aforementioned djembe folas. It features Balakara Kande and Mamadi Kita. Man, those names are hard. But those guys are amazing. Balakara Kande is wearing a black shirt. Mamade is wearing a blue and white tunic or robe, whatever you want to call it. It's mostly improvised. And actually the drums in the background of it that you'll see in that video are dunans. They have bells on top of them. You'll see on Balakade's ankle, he has some bells strapped to his foot as well. But it's an incredible video. Truly a couple of greats playing and having fun with it. It's hard not to play any drum and have fun. So I encourage you to watch those. Now that last video is rather lengthy. You don't have to watch it obviously all the way through because it's about I think it's about 10 minutes long. So I'd at least encourage you to watch maybe a minute of it to really get a sense of the feel of how they play the rhythm and how they can really those guys can make the djembe talk. So I want to thank you for watching my presentation, and this is Aaron. I'm signing off. Thank you.
Let us burn one from end to end and pass it over to me, my friend. Burn it low, but burn it slow to light me up before I go. If you don't like my fire, then don't come around, 'cause I'm gonna burn one down. Yes, I'm gonna burn one down. So my choice is what I choose to do, and if I'm causing no harm, it shouldn't bother you. And your choice is who you choose to be, and if you're causing no harm, you're alright with me. If you don't like my fire, then don't come around, 'cause I'm gonna burn one down. Yes, we are gonna burn one down. Now, earth to give from the earth, and what's from the earth is of your greatest worth. So before you knock it, try it first, and you'll see it's a blessing, no, it's not a curse. If you don't like my fire, then don't come around, 'cause I'm gonna burn one down. Yes, I'm gonna down. No.